Bahasham. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of great Millstone who teach and rule well, and shalom to the sincere Akyam, spreading the truth and sincerity. Shalom. In this video, I want to talk about Ahba Bivens, and to be more specific, I want to bring on the information, concerning him, because there's a certain man that fell out of GMS who actually did not believe that Ahba Bivens was Elijah in the reincarnation, nor does he believe that he is John the Baptist, because we're not able to prove that with hard evidence that is factual. We believe that through faith. We believe through faith that Ahba Bivens is indeed Elijah and John the Baptist, because what he actually did is he fulfilled prophecy, and that is the only thing that we have. We have the faith that Ahba Bivens indeed fulfilled Malachi chapter 4, verse 5 and 6. This is Malachi chapter 4 and verse 5. Behold, I will send through Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord Yahawah. So, before the end would come, the Most High would send forth a man who would be Elijah the prophet in the reincarnation. Because we understand that the spirit of a prophet is subject unto the prophet. Yahawashi even spake of Elijah already, coming in the body of John the Baptist, but that he would eventually also come, and restore all things. And that is what, Ahba Bivens actually did. He restored the things that was lost unto us. We was a lost nation. We didn't know who we actually were. We lost the fact that we, are the biblical Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and those scattered among the heathen nations, looking like the heathen nations, but his lineage does go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob according to their father's seed line. You see, so the Most High would send forth a man that would come in the spirit and power of Elijah. And this is also something that had been said, concerning John the Baptist. Let me see. I think it's Luke 1 and 17. And this is Luke chapter 1 verse 17. And he shall go before him in the spirit and power of Elijah, to turn the hearts of the fathers to the children, and the disobedient to the wisdom of the just, to make ready people prepared for the Lord. So this was talking about John the Baptist that would come in the spirit and power of Elijah. So he would have the same spirit that Elijah, had within him. He would only reincarnate, being John the Baptist. And he would eventually make sure that the way, was being heralded in, for Yahawashi, that those people knew about him, and that he would come, and that he would be greater than John the Baptist, which was talking about Yahawashi. So, understanding that Malachi 4 and 5, would take place before, the second coming of Yahawashi, we need to understand that the Most High would raise up a man that would, come in that same spirit. And we understand also, according to Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 9, the thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun, so history repeat itself. Verse 10, is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new, it hath already been of old time, which was before us. There is no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after. So, you don't know who you are once you come back in your new life. But you have been here before in the past. there are stories out there that the apostles talk about how Abba Bivens, would used to eat locust and honey. This is also something that John the Baptist would do. He ate locust and honey while he was in the wilderness preaching. So there are signs out there that we might not have seen with our naked eye, but it's being brought out by the other apostles of Great Millstone that had a more closer relationship, with Abba Bivens, or that had information concerning him. You see, this is Malachi 4 verse 6, and he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to the fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. And this means that this man that would, come in the spirit of Elijah would give us back the information of who we actually are as a people. And Abba Bivens, he wrote a book which is called The Marks of a Lost Race. And I've read that book myself, and I made a video about it, in the past as well. How that book, you can read about, the so-called Negroes being the Israelites, but the Most also said that he would raise up the tribes of Judah first, and after that more information also came out concerning the other tribes, which was revealed later. And in this day and age, we have the understanding that the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, also suffered the curses, and that they're part of the nation of Israel, you see. But it all started with Abba Bivens, who did bring back to us the information of who we are as a people. He was able to break down Deuteronomy chapter 28, and by that, able to determine who are the Israelites. And this is not something that you can prove, with like hard evidence, that literally says, hey, this man, is Elijah the prophet, spoken about in Malachi chapter 4. No, the Most High gave us certain things, that those that have eyes to see and ears to hear, would believe these things by faith. And let me go into that word faith as well. The word faith in the Farlex dictionary says, let's go to the second point, confident or unquestioning belief in the truth, value, of trustworthiness of a person or dear thing. And we have an unquestioning belief in the idea, the value, and the trustworthiness of Abba Bivens being Elijah the prophet, which this man, looking at what he actually did upon the earth, he fulfilled the prophecy of Malachi chapter 4 verse 5 and 6. You see, let me go into that word mark as well, because backing that up with Deuteronomy chapter 28, is going to give us a better idea of actually, what Abba Bivens actually did. So here it says, the primary sense boundary had evolved by an Old English through pillar, post, etc. as a sign of a boundary, through a sign of general, then to impression of trace forming a sign, meaning any visible trace or impression, is recorded by circa 1200, meaning a cross or the other character made by the other person. Let me see where it is. Oh yeah, here it is. The Middle English target, sense of target, is the notion a marksman, and slang sense victim of a swindle. The notion of sign or token is behind the meaning of characteristic property or a distinctive feature. So the word mark goes back to the word sign, token, or a distinctive feature. So something that you will be able to, by looking upon something, you'll be able to determine, a certain, you would come to a certain conclusion. And the conclusion that Abba Bivens was able to distract from the curses in Deuteronomy chapter 28 is that those fell upon the Israelites, who are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. So I want to go to Deuteronomy chapter 28 as well, because there it also talks about the signs and the tokens. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord Yahawah thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. So that word sign goes into something that you will be able to look upon, and then you would come to the conclusion of who they actually were. So if you were able to, determine by the fact that Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68 talks about the transatlantic slavery, if you're able to receive that, and then you think about, hey, upon which people upon the earth, did this come to pass, then you will be able to say, hey, this happened to the so-called Negroes that were taken from the west coast of Africa and then taken, to the Americas. You see, so that will be the sign to determine who are the Israelites, and that's the beauty about Ahba Bivens also, making a book called Marks of a Lost Race. So the signs, so the things that will be upon a certain people that will determine who that lost race actually was, and if we didn't listen to the words of Yahawashi, then we will be severely afflicted, man. We will be chastised by the Heavenly Father, which actually happened, So yeah, so the point that I actually want to bring out is like, hey, this is something by faith, man. We believe it by faith, and it's a prophecy being fulfilled, How else do you also believe that you are an Israelite, by faith, The Bible, gives us clear signs and tokens, what would happen to our people, and by looking upon those things, we have the faith to declare, hey, we are the children of Israel. You see, not because we're able to prove it with this and with genealogy and things like that. No, man, we do those things by faith, the belief and the unquestioning trustworthiness of the information in the scriptures. That's what we stand upon. And who was it? Elder Apostle Roundup also brought this out, man. This is only, only those that are able that have the eyes have, and the eyes to see and the ears to hear are able to understand this, man. Just like he also brought out in John chapter 3 verse 27. This is John 3 and 27. John answered and said, a man can receive nothing except to be given him from heaven. So you're only able to receive, the information or the understanding that Ahba Bivens fulfilled the prophecy about Elijah, the prophet, coming back, before the great and terrible day of the Lord. If that understanding is given unto you from on high by Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. You see, that's the same thing with Peter. Who say ye I am? Let me see if I can find it. Because Yahawashi was also not, made known unto all the people when he came on the scene. Some perceived him to be, basically coming, after the works of Beelzebub, which is Satan. Others perceived him, to be, not the Messiah. But when he asked, the disciples, they perceived him to be the anointed, to be the Messiah. This is Matthew chapter 16 and verse 13. When Yahawashi came into the coast of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, whom do men say that I, the Son of Man, am? And they said, some say that thou art John the Baptist, some Elijah, and others Jeremiah, or one of the prophets. You see, so that's what the other people said. They did not perceive Yahawashi to be, who he was. They perceived him to be either Elijah, Jeremiah, or one of the other prophets. But they did not, perceive him to be, the Messiah, to be the anointed. Because they understood the concept, and how you say that? The working of reincarnation. They understood that. That's why they said, oh, he's Elijah or Jeremiah. Verse 15, he said unto them, but whom say ye that I am? So he asked them, okay, all, good and fun and games, but who do you think that I am? I want to know what you think who I am. Verse 16, and Simon Peter answered and said, thou art, the Messiah, the Son of the living power. And Yahawashi answered and said unto him, blessed art thou, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood hath not revealed it unto thee, but my Father which is in heaven. So this shows you that the understanding about who Yahawashi was, was given unto the disciples by Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. And the understanding of us believing that Ahba Bivens is in fact Elijah is also something that is given unto us from on high by Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. You see, so those people that don't believe that Ahba Bivens is actually Elijah, they were never given that understanding by Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, because actually that makes them not part of the elect then. You see what I mean? So yeah, we believe it through faith, and we believe that Ahba Bivens, fulfilled the prophecy of Elijah, both as Elijah himself, John the Baptist, and Elijah that would, was foretold to come before the second coming of Yahawashi. So with that, I hope that this lesson was edifying, and I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of great Millstone who teach and rule well, and shalom to the sincere Akyam, spreading truth and sincerity. Shalom.